Good morning, everybody. This is Steve from the Worley Bugger. It is July 11th, 2025, and I'm here at the confluence of the Yakima and the Teanaway River. And as you can see, the river has lots of water in it. Up running at summer flows, quickly coming out of the reservoir, the Ellensburg Reservoir. Water temperatures in the shade, very stable, recording 60 degrees here. And this is right at the confluence of the Teanaway. Like I reported last week, the Teanaway is getting really low, and especially up in the Teanaway, it's starting to puddle up. But here at the confluence, there's still water. There's still water flowing. You can see the water coming out. So that's good for trout, especially. As that flow reduces, they'll still be able to move. There's still plenty of water in there. We'll keep an eye on it. I appreciate the calls that we got from people, but we'll keep an eye on it over the next few weeks and see what happens, especially into the month of August, and see where flow ranges start. Of course, it's going to continue to drop, but trout aren't dumb. They won't hang around. They can feel the water getting lower and warmer, so that they'll move. They'll move to places of safety. It's instinctual survival. It's built in from God. It's in all of us. So summer fishing is here, where we really, the river really becomes a big searching river. And what I mean by that is you're using searching patterns, really, like hoppers, attractors, hopper dropper scenarios, fishing tight against bank structures, edges, seam lines, lots of places like that. Lots of different patterns are going to work. It's not going to be one specific thing that's going to be really good. Insect hatches are going to be, minimal. You might see a few sparse PMDs during the day, caddis, but it's really going to become, main focus is, grasshoppers, ants, beetles, terrestrial life forms, stuff like that. Kicked over a lot of grasshoppers on my way down from the river here, and they're good size too. So we got a heat wave coming. Gonna push, into the 90-degree range. So that's gonna push hoppers closer to the edges of the water and the river, and that'll become a fun time. Throwing grasshoppers along the edges, along the banks. You can see. So lots of people, kind of wondering why the river is, running so high, in a drought year. So, we have lots of different agencies involved in maintaining river and maintaining river flows. We'll see what their plan is and see if the bureaucracy, has good intentions and knows what they're doing. Come September, we'll see how all of these agencies have performed, and under duress. Not easy for them either. The river is mainly used as an agricultural resource. The water used in not only Kittitas County but Yakima and Benton County as well, to irrigate. Lots of farm ground. So we're talking billions and billions of dollars in hay and hops, corn, you know, wine. So lots of other resources using the river. We always like to think of it as, you know, a trout and salmon resource, which absolutely it is. And that resource in its own right brings a lot of revenue to the county as well, but it's always been secondary or third. We'll just see, you know, by the end of August where we're at. Expect low flows for the fall for sure. Probably even lower than what we had last year, but all we can do is hope that this coming winter we have a good winter. I was back in Montana for the holiday, the 4th of July, and they're in the same type of scenario as we are. The only saving grace for us is our reservoirs that can collect the water, but lots of their rivers are already turning over and going into hoot owl conditions. The water was warm there, and yeah, so if you got a trip planned to the east, you might want to do a little research and see where water flows and water temperatures at, and if there's any restrictions that are placed on those fisheries. So yeah, if you are thinking about doing some fishing, you know, over the weekend, you know, a little tough on the Yakima. I mean, you definitely can come to places like this, you know, and access the river, but you know, you're not going to be able to access everywhere. Certainly warm enough, don't need waders, but you know, recommend, you know, wading staff, studded boots. You know, other places, you know, you can go over to the Natchez. That's running around 400, you know, and fish there. Some of them tributaries are still good. The Tieton, the Bumping, the American River, all nice places to fish for the day. And it's not a secret. I'm not giving away any secrets. So, but you know, give people lots of space. You know, don't crowd. People are out trying to enjoy Mother Nature, trying to get some solitude. So give people space. There's plenty of water to fish. See somebody fishing in a spot, move on, go to it, find a new spot. You'll be a lot happier, and they'll be a lot happier, and less confrontations on the water. So, but just watch water flows, watch water temps. You know where you're going. That's kind of the main thing, you know, to protect trout species. You know, in the summer, you know, during heat, you know, and low water conditions. So yeah, if you happen to be out for the weekend too, just keep in mind that there's a burn ban in effect in all of Kittitas County. Everything's very, very dry, and with this heat coming, it's going to dry out vegetation even more. So no fires, please. If you get caught with a fire, it's a big fine. And you start a fire, a forest fire, you're responsible. So just keep that in mind when you're out for the weekend. Until then, everybody, have any questions, feel free to call the Pro Shop. Happy to help with whatever you need. Other than that, have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.